Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Bearbackers. Hope everybody's having a nice rainy Monday. So Steve's on the golf course today, or he'd be here, but he sends his best. So you get the C team today. So here we go. This week, tonight at Walk-Ons at 7 o'clock, we have the Nathan Brown Coaches Show on Buzz 2, 106.7. Men's golf is playing at Kansas State today in their first tournament of the fall. Thursday, women's soccer hosts Queens in the ASUN opener at 7 o'clock at the Bill Stevens Complex. At the same time, almost, volleyball will be in Little Rock playing ULR at the Stevens Center in the I-40 Showdown. Friday, volleyball plays at home, hosting their Central Arkansas Invitational. They play North Alabama at 6 o'clock in the Prince Center in their ASUN opener. And then on Saturday, they host Jackson State at 2 p.m. in the tournament finale. Did that time change? Or is it still? Not sure. So 2 o'clock against Jackson State. There's 2 other matches prior to that one, so it may be a little bit after 2 before they play. Men's soccer is at Bellarmine at 6 o'clock in Louisville, Kentucky on Saturday to open up their ASUN season. And then football heads to Pine Bluff to take on UAPB at 6 o'clock at Simmons Bank Field for our first meeting there since 1994. Women's soccer makes its first trip to West Georgia and Carrollton for a road match on Sunday. So that'll be fun for them. Volleyball continued their 10-game road swing last week in San Antonio, played more tough competition. They lost to UTSA Sam Houston, Alabama. As I already said, they open up at Little Rock on Thursday and then play at home on Friday and Saturday. And for now, we're going to listen to Coach John Newberry give us an update on the volleyball program.
Daryl's rolling through it. Had chocolate in my mouth from the cake there. It's good. Tough week for us this last week. So 2 days before we left, we had three girls go down, had some concussions going on. Yeah, it's hard to play. So we're basically starting our 3rd and 4th string all weekend, trying to figure it out. Luckily, they'll all be back. They'll all be back tomorrow, so we'll have a nice few days of practice, and then really hope to see you guys in the Prince Center on 6 o'clock on Friday against North Alabama. This is going to be a great game against a really good opponent, and I'm just glad to finally be back home. It's been a little over a month since we've had anything in the Prince Center, since our purple and gray game back in August, so this is going to be it's going to be really, really nice to be able to finally play in front of our fans. Encourage you guys to come out. Quick notable thing, Reagan Harp, she's a 6'1" outside hitter from Fayetteville, Arkansas. She's our very first Gatorade Player of the Year, but she's a freshman. Had 17 kills against Alabama. Finally figured out as a freshman how to put some balls away against 6'6" and 6'5" girls. Because the week before that, when we were at Colorado State, that's exactly what we had also. Oregon, I knew they were going to be good. Their top 10 team, one of their 6'2" middles touches 11 feet. 11 feet. That's how high she touches. Okay, so told them how to block against that. You can't. But anyways, I was trying to show them how to move your hands because they hit over you. Even though one of our girls touches 10.5, she's still hitting over our girl. So that was fun. Anyways, but yeah, we're super excited about this weekend. Hope you guys can make it out there. And anyway, that's all I got. Y'all have a great week. See you all Friday.
Thanks, Coach. Now we'll go to women's soccer. Women's soccer had a good one this weekend. They beat Louisiana Monroe 3-2. And they host Queens on Thursday night, as we said earlier, at 7 p.m. at the Bill Stevens Track and Soccer Complex for MVP night. That's Most Valuable Professor. So we hope everybody can make it out. Coach Jeremy Bishop.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, I finally got on the win column on yesterday. Played down at Louisiana Monroe. They've got a good team, some really fast, dangerous players, and we did a good job of containing them most of the day, and we're able to get the ball in the net. We've been changing some things around, just trying to figure out how to get some more offense, changed our system a little bit leading up to, I guess, last weekend, and it helped a lot. We were able to create some more chances in our games last week on the scoring end, and so just continuing to progress. And then we got to this week and we made a couple of personnel changes, just putting some people in some different spots, and that continued to improve us and help us be able to create opportunities. And so against ULM, we knew it was a team that we could press, get after them in their defensive half, our attacking half, and try to turn them over, and we did a pretty good job of that all day long, being able to get good pressure on them so that they turned it over and then gave us some good chances to score. Kelly Van Gundy, who I've talked about many times from up here, midfielder of the year last year in the ASUN, we actually moved her up front onto the front line, and that helped us create some opportunities as well. She's good at holding the ball up, which is something that we were missing. And so that really helped us create some opportunities. Actually ended up moving her back into midfield late in the half, and that's when she picked up a ball and scored a goal. So great coaching there. That was Coach Nichols' decision, so give him a hand for that. Good job, Coach Nichols. So yeah, we feel like we're trending in the right direction. Been playing well, and so hopefully we can continue that as we start ASUN play this week. Got our first weekend is a split weekend for everybody, so we're home on Thursday against Queens, and then on Sunday we're down in West Georgia for the first time we've ever played them before. So spent a lot of time this week looking at those two opponents, figuring out what their systems are and how we need to play against them. And then we're on the road for the next weekend. So Thursday, this coming up, is your first and only chance to see us play ASUN until October. So hopefully we can get everybody out on Thursday for that. Dr. Davis was asking me about the A-State game. And some of you were wondering about how that went. So we had gotten canceled when we were there earlier in the season at halftime because of the weather. We rescheduled it for this past Thursday, but then that was when the hurricane came through and put their field underwater, and so we weren't able to do that, and there's not another open date the rest of the season, so that'll just go down as a no contest with Arkansas State. So weird situation with the weather and them not having lights and things like that, but that one won't be remade. Watching the football game on Saturday, I thought of a story that I thought I would share with you guys. I've told Coach Brown this before, but I think it's pretty cool to see the athletes in different situations. So I got to teach the coaching soccer class second half of last spring. They needed somebody to step in there, so I was coaching that or teaching that class, and I had several athletes in there, and one of those was David Walker. And he was in my class, and it was during spring break that I had this class. And so, you get to talking with the class and getting to know them a little bit, and everybody was talking about what they did on spring break. And David was, I can't remember exactly where he went, but he was doing missions over spring break. So that was pretty cool to see and hear him talk about, what he's doing around. And I know Coach Brown brags and talks about his guys, which he should. But to hear it maybe from somebody else, maybe it'll give you the perspective that we want you to have. These guys do amazing things on and off the field. And also, the last day of class, we were doing a little dribbling activity with the soccer ball. And at the end of it, they had basically a 30-yard sprint to come back to the start. I was timing them, giving them bonus points if they could beat me, different things like that. They didn't beat me. But as David was running back at us, dribbling the soccer ball, I was scared for my life for a little bit, thinking that if this guy hits me, I am not going to make it. But he did. He was able to pull up and not kill anybody, so that was good. But amazing athletes, amazing people, and we have that story so many times across the board with our athletes here, and I know that you guys care a lot about them, and I just thought y'all might like to hear that story about them. But back to the team, got a lot of players playing well. Think we're trending in the right direction. Starting ASUN play this week. Hope to see you out on Thursday night. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach. Now to men's soccer. Men's soccer's had a tough couple of matches. They played really hard these last 2 home matches. They had a tough outcome against Missouri State last week, 2-0, and then a tough one last night against Florida International in not such perfect weather, for sure, 3-1. But they definitely played hard. They open on the road, as I said, at Bellarmine in Louisville this weekend on Saturday night, and then they have their next home game is October 5th on Saturday, October 5th against Lipscomb, who's the defending ASUN champions in men's soccer. So, Coach Kohlenstein.
Thanks, Daryl. First of all, I want to thank Ryan for coming over to the house. We did a special senior thing last night for Lucas, and it was really cool that Ryan came over and did that. And you know, as Jeremy was saying, you know, it's good for other people to see things and say things. How positive was Lucas? I mean, after what we did is we got a uniform with his number on it, and everybody signed it either on the back or the side. And because one of the things our sports psychologist always says to us at the end is, "I got your back." And so on the back we said, "We got your back," and then guys signed there. And then on the side we said, "By your side," and some guys signed there. And we asked him to wear that to chemo every time he goes, so that he knows that his people are with him every time he goes. But he talked to the guys after we had a little celebration that Ryan presented, and he stands up and said, "I'd like to say a few things." And he was talking about how much coming to UCA was a great decision in his life, and that you know, he'll always be a Purple Bear, and that you know, he expressed that to the guys is they better kick ass and win now. So it was really good to have someone talk that positive. As far as our matches went, I'm hoping, John, you and I have something in common, that you learn a lot more from losing than you do from winning. Yeah, but I could learn a little less in the last couple. But, you know, every team we played except the first match were teams that were in the NCAA tournament last year. So we're hoping to learn from that. Coming up, we have Bellarmine, who is a very well-coached team, very organized, very hard to play, particularly at home. But, you know, we're going to get the guys, excuse me, we're going to get the guys ready and make sure we're ready to go after them, because this is what we've been training for this whole time. As like the first part was our prep matches, and then this is really our championship matches. So I hope you come out on October 5th and see us play our first conference match at home against Lipscomb. But until then, you know, keep Lucas in your thoughts and positively think about him. And then also, after coming off 2 losses, send some positive karma our way too. But congratulations to Coach Brown and Jeremy on the big wins over the weekend. You know, it's always great to follow our people. So thanks a lot. Go Bears.
Well, football. They had a ho-hum game Saturday, that's for sure. So 45-17. I thought our defense gave up way too many points. And our offense could have ran the ball just a little bit better. But they're working on it, I promise. They're working on it. They'll get better. I tell you what, it's one thing we've had for I don't know, it's probably been last 5 or 6 years. We've probably had the best tandem of running backs. Not necessarily the same guys every year, but best tandem running backs we've had in a long time. And I tell you what, it's unbelievable to watch those guys run and how hard they work. But Sean Derek Powell, I will say, was the National Offensive Player of the Week this week, which is a great honor for sure. But I will say, Austin Peay's changed a lot because, I mean, I was at the game last year over there, and the way we played this year over here, it was a totally different type of game, and we just totally dominated them for sure. And hopefully we're going to do that about, what are we, 3 games into the season, so we got to do it about 9 more times, right? So, but anyway, we're going to UAPB this week for the first time since 1994. UAPB is 1-2 on the season, and they did beat Arkansas Baptist. They've lost to Arkansas, Tennessee State. The game's at 6 o'clock on the Bear 91.3, the Point 94.1, and ESPN+. I will let Coach Brown give you a recap of Austin Peay and talk about UAPB. Coach Brown.
How's everybody doing? Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, it was a big weekend for us. I talked a little bit last week about starting fast in the UAC, and we kind of had a conference game sandwiched in between our 4 non-conference games. And that last Saturday's game has a little more teeth because you're already jumping into conference play, and it can affect what it looks like in November as far as the automatic bid goes and all that stuff. Obviously, every game matters and where we want to get and what we want to accomplish, but conference games have a little more purpose. And so I was proud of our young men. One, coming out and improving from game 2 to game 3. The challenge to our guys a week ago was how much are we going to improve off a 21-point win at Lindenwood. And I thought we improved in a lot of areas. There's still a long way to go, obviously. But very, very proud of our group. And I'll say this real fast. I think, Daryl mentioned it. There's a lot of different faces on Austin Peay's football team. Obviously, a new coaching staff. But if there was ever a moment where retention matters, that was one of them, right? So it's important to give your student athletes a great experience so that they want to stay. Obviously they were in a little bit different situation with a coaching change, but retention matters. And when you can keep experienced and talented football players in your program, as in every sport, then success tends to follow. Maturity is a weapon in sports that is hard to find in this day and age. So, we're fortunate to have some guys that have been around the program and been a part of big games and been a part of a lot of big wins and tough losses that are growing in front of y'all's eyes or have grown in front of your eyes. So, but Saturday was big, and so Austin Peay the week before played a top 10 team in Southern Illinois. The game was 24-20. They were tied up in the fourth quarter and ended up winning 31-17. It was 24-17 going into the fourth quarter, and ended up Southern Illinois pushed it off and won by 14. So we knew Austin Peay had the talent, we knew they had the skill, we knew they had the ability. And so what I was proud about Saturday was, we went out and it looks like a 28-point win, and that's great. I mean, look, nobody likes that more than me, and I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm not proud or happy or anything of that nature. But what I was happy was we got resistance. It wasn't easy, and you still were able to push that out to 28 points. Against a football team that's going to win some games. Austin Peay is going to win some games. And so that was encouraging to me. When you come out of the first quarter and it's 3-3, there's a little bit of okay, are we going to get this thing rolling? Austin Peay, which I told y'all last week, they were going to be defensively, they were going to get some tackles for loss. They were going to get us in the backfield because of what they did scheme-wise, but we stayed consistent with what we were trying to do and put them in some bad spots, and we were able to take advantage and capitalize. I thought the play of the game and probably the momentum shift of the game was Trajan Bridges' punt return touchdown. He gets a ton of credit. He almost had one the week before, but, man, our punt return unit did a great job. We put in a middle return this week because we thought we could expose them up the hash, and that's where it hit. And that's when you practice something hard, and Coach Scott and our special teams group put in so much time and effort into something, and then you watch it succeed. There's something special about that. I also thought, they talk about the 4-minute mark. There's an 8-minute time period in between the end of the first half and the start of the second half that if you look at numbers and percentages can decide football games. And obviously we controlled that. We won 14-0 in that 8-minute mark. We got the ball late under the 2-minute warning, and we're able to go take it down and score right before halftime. We had the ball coming out at half, and we scored in 3 plays. And so we went on a little 28-0 run right there that really pushed the game out of hand, that allowed us to play a lot of our young players, get some players in, especially on the defensive side, some young offensive linemen, a few young wide receivers. Landon Chambers got his first carries of his career at running back behind Darius and Shunderick there in the fourth quarter, and we were able to get out of that game with a good win. And so just again, very excited about our players. But as I said, and I don't want to sound like that coach that's not happy or satisfied or all that, but when you watch film and you split hairs, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. And we're in the ballpark in a lot of areas, but we've got to continue to improve and be more consistent, and really just do the little things. Some of the little things that frustrate you, that create big things, aren't happening, and it's going to catch up to us if we don't continue to improve. So our challenge last night, again, like last week, how much can a football team improve off a 28-point win? Well, if you want to be a top 10 football team consistently, those teams improve. Doesn't matter whether you lose, whether you win by 28, whether you win by 1, they improve as the season goes on. So I fully expect our guys to have a great week of practice. We had a good session last night. We practiced last night under the lights. Today's their off day. Hopefully they're in here getting their own film work, familiarizing themselves with UAPB. But we need to have a great Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice leading up to this weekend. Shifting the page to Arkansas Pine Bluff, have a lot of respect for Coach Hampton. Alonzo Hampton is their head football coach. He's going into year 2. He's an Arkansas guy, originally from Warren. Been all over the country as an assistant coach. Most recently at ULM. He's been at Oregon. He was at Central Florida. I believe he was at Florida. He's been all over the place, but now he's kind of came back home to the state of Arkansas to be the head coach at UAPB. Have a ton of respect for Coach Hampton and what he does. He's trying to strip that program down and build it back up, and I think he's going to have success doing it. I think that he is in a perfect spot as far as being a head coach to recruit the state of Arkansas and surrounding areas, and show them what a place like University of Arkansas Pine Bluff has to offer. A team that plays extremely hard. They're playing some young guys, just like we talked about Austin Peay. They had a lot of exits, with their personnel and in the transfer portal, and so they've had to bring in some young guys, bring in some transfer portal guys, and they're trying to mesh together and get it right. Obviously, game 1 for them was played at War Memorial against the University of Arkansas. Arkansas did what they should have did, right? They won convincingly. But UAPB played hard for 4 quarters, put up a great fight. You knew they were overmatched in that game, so I don't spend a lot of time worried about that game. Then they hosted an overmatched game against Arkansas Baptist, kind of returned the favor, kind of the pendulum swing. The real gauge we've got on them is last weekend against Tennessee State. They played in a classic game in Memphis, so they met kind of halfway at the Liberty Bowl. And really played a competitive game against a good Tennessee State team. Tennessee State's 2-1, coached by Eddie George, former NFL Hall of Fame running back, and played a tough game with them. Tennessee State was able to push it out a little bit toward the end, but you saw a lot of promise in what UAPB has. And I told our guys last night, you're gonna get haymakers. They're gonna swing. They're gonna swing for the fence, and they're gonna do everything they can. And I would expect nothing less out of them. They want some opportunities to compete against us. They're a Division I program. They're an FCS program just like we are. We recruit similar players. We're obviously in this state of Arkansas, which isn't just overpopulated with an enormous amount of players. So this is an important game for them, and it's a home game for them. And it's the 3rd time in 4 weeks that we're wearing a white jersey. We like playing on the stripes. We have success, but look, I know it's a short trip, just like Jonesboro, but it's a foreign trip, and so we have to be locked in. We have to understand what's at stake. I've got over 70 Arkansas in-state players on my roster. Coach Hampton has added a ton of Arkansas in-state players on his roster. There's a lot at stake in this game, and our players know that and recognize that. They recruit the Mississippi Junior College system just like we do. A ton of Mississippi kids on their roster, just like on our roster. We've got over 25 kids from the state of Mississippi. This is a big game, and so what a great opportunity for us to go compete, have an opportunity to go on the road for another Division I game, and really just try to get better at us. I mean, UAPB is going to give us a lot of resistance, and if we're not ready for it, then we're in for a fight. And so we've got to have a important week and continue to build. But I love the way our guys are playing. Real quick, and then I'll turn it over if there's any questions. I do want to mention our offensive line and tight ends. Shunderick Powell and Darius Hale, obviously, you guys know they're fast, they're big, they're strong, hard to tackle. But I've told y'all from the start, I've been raving about this offensive line since the summer. And look, it's a good group. It's a good group, and they're opening holes. And when you're a top 5 rushing team in the nation right now, when you're leading, I think you're second in the nation in average yards per carry. And then I want to add in the mix of tight ends we have, because those 3 tight ends on Saturday night, along with that offensive line, they were leaning on people. And my tight ends, I got Tyler Siddons from Salem, Arkansas, 6'6", 265 pounds. Jordan Owens from McGee, Arkansas, 6'6", 260 pounds. And then Jackson Kosmeyer from Biloxi, Mississippi, 6'7", probably 268. So those 3 guys are like having an extra offensive lineman on the field. Go stand by those. Go stand by those tight ends, and you'll feel really small, which is a good thing. I don't know if any of them are touching 11 foot, though. I don't know about that, John, but they look the part at tight end. But I wanted to make sure I mentioned them, along with obviously our running back. That combo of running backs, they're pretty special, and they've got to keep doing what they're doing. You know, a lot of people are sitting there going, well, why in the world is UCA? I mean, we go all these years, we got all these 3,000-yard passers, all this stuff, and everybody's like, well, why are we getting the pass game going? Where's Trajan Bridges? Where's Malachi Henry? Where's Cam Robinson? They're out there. They're fine. If we're going to be able to run the ball, this coach isn't stupid. If you can run the ball on average almost 10 yards a carry, you're going to keep running the football. So Will had 333 yards passing last week. Maybe he'll have 300 yards this week. I don't care. And to be honest with you, Will doesn't care either. Keep protecting the football, put us in the position to win, get us in the right play call, the right check, and everything else will work itself out. Because at the end of the day, it's about wins. And the team that's most physical on the trenches and runs the football usually win football games. So proud of our guys and proud of the way we handled Saturday. Now, we're on a little bit of a streak. 2 games equals a streak. 3, the ball really starts rolling. So we're going to try to get to 3 this week. Any questions? Dr. Fiddler?
So you talk about you're splitting hairs and looking at what hairs are you splitting that you see where you're falling short?
We're in the ballpark on a lot of things right now. Like, we get away with some of our athletic ability and just the way we've recruited really good players. We get on the edge of blocks sometimes, and Shunderick can make us right, or Darius can make us right. We've got 2 personal foul penalties. Like, that's splitting hairs. Like, you can't have that, right? You got to see what you hit. Can't go a half without Tamarian Wilson, the way he was playing, in that game. So there's just so many small things that are coaching details, fundamentals, assignments, that, to be honest with you, we're kind of being pricks about as coaches, because I see the potential that this team has, and it's a really good team, really good team. Not a great team yet, but really a good football team. And if we want to get to being great, then we've got to continue to split hairs. And if we're not coaching it and they're not taking the constructive criticism and the coaching, then we're not going to achieve what we truly want to achieve when this season's over. So that's what I talk about with splitting hairs. It's really just being a jerk, to be honest with you, as a coach. Because, look, everybody wants to relax and be complacent when you have a 28-point win against a team that you played the conference championship for last year. But look, we've got to be better, and if we're better, that 28-point win could probably be a 35-point win or maybe even more, you know. And so we're going to play teams in our near future that will expose our weaknesses if we don't get them right.
How'd the young Brown boys do this past week?
All right, Luke Brown update. They're 2-0 on the season. So the Patriots are 2-0, down 12-0 at halftime. Wasn't looking good for the Patriots.
For the lack of Bears?
Yeah, second half team. You know, it's that halftime adjustment. Isn't that what a good coach is, isn't it? Go and make those adjustments. But yeah, 12-0 wasn't looking good. They weren't moving anything on offense. Defense was you know, doing okay. They fired them up at halftime, came back and won 14-12. So that was a good week. Luke got in the end zone once, had a big fourth down catch that kept the last drive alive, made a few tackles. He's doing all right. Big one tomorrow against the Titans, though.
Hey, give your explanation on how they flipped the hashes on after that ejection.
Yeah, so the explanation to me was, because I asked that question because they scored a touchdown the next play. And actually, on that play, I sent David Walker got post chopped on that play. Pretty bad. Should have been a flag. Matter of fact, if he doesn't get post chopped, David Walker might be going for 6 the other way, catching the pitch. He did. He was right there, but the guy he got high load, which is illegal. Didn't get called, but it is what it is. They told me the penalty is assessed from the prior spot. So they were on the left hash. I didn't really comprehend that way. I'm sitting there going, well, the play went right. You know, you get 15 yards because the play is on the right hash. Yes, after the tackle. I mean, but that's the way they explained it to me is based on the previous spot, which was on the left hash. You got 15 yards.
You mentioned halftime adjustment. Can you briefly tell me what y'all do? Because Ray Yang looks like y'all made really good halftime adjustment. How does that process work?
So you get 20 minutes at half. So as soon as we get in the locker room or downstairs, or if we're in the visitor, we huddle up as an offense-defensive staff. We spend about 8 to 10 minutes together as an offensive-defensive staff. Now, I will say this: the added element of technology has helped. So we're allowed to have iPads now. So I don't know if you guys have noticed on the sideline, but we're looking at iPads like the NFL guys use those Microsoft Surface Pros. So we've got 6 iPads. We got 2 in the box. We've got 4 down on the sideline. And so basically in real time, you're getting plays. Play is filmed from the press box and filmed from the scoreboard end zone. You get 2 shots. So what we've done is we've done a good job getting in there, starring plays that were issue plays or issue moments within the first half, and making adjustments off of those. And what I like is what we've done in the second half is we have, I don't know what the total yardage count is, but we're outgaining our second half opponents, including Arkansas State, by almost 600 yards. And so we're doing a good job in the second half of seeing issue plays. I think we've got a good system how we're handling the technology. The technology that we're allowed to have this year. This is the first year we've been allowed to have this. And I think some of it, too, like we can pat ourselves on the back as coaches a lot. I think some of it's just veterans. I think it's guys that are mature and take what we coach and tell them and then go execute it is what I think it is. But we spend about 8-10 minutes in that, and then we go have quick position meetings with our positions. Coordinators meet quickly with their sides of the football, and then I'm calling them up about 3 to 4 minutes left before we go back out to stretch. So it's a pretty hectic 20 minutes, and it goes by like that, but you can get a lot done in that quick amount of time.
How much of a factor was the weather in the game plan?
Well, I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I kind of dropped the ball on that a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. It blew in, and to me, a little bit of rain like that, non-factor. It's the wind, because the wind did pick up there for about, I don't know how much clock time it came, but probably I would say 15, 20 minutes where it was pretty breezy, for the kicking game. And how do you go for it instead of punt it? There was a lot, some of that you've got to think through as a coach. But no, I mean, the rain and the wet, we call it Wet Ball Wednesdays, no matter what the weather looks like on Saturdays. Like, we'll do Wet Ball Wednesday this Wednesday, and it may be sunny and 80 on Saturday. I don't know. So we try to practice everything we can because you're an element sport. So I mean, like, you're at the mercy of. I was just thankful at one point in that second quarter. I looked up there. I'm like, man, this better not get delayed because that's tough. Delays are tough, you know, to go in for 20, 30 hour, you know, whatever it is. So I was thankful that Lightning wasn't involved with it.
Don't feel bad, the weather been missed it too.
I'm a pretty good meteorologist usually. At least I say I am. But no. Hey, I'm looking forward to Saturday. Look, if we can get as many people to Pine Bluff, we'd love that. I think the atmosphere is going to be top notch. I mean, you know that they're going to be excited. It's a short trip. Our guys are going to, you know, we're treating it like a home game. You know, we'll stay here, do our normal home routine. We're actually going to pregame meal in this room, you know, before we head over. So then we'll get on the bus. We'll, however long, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes over to Pine Bluff and suit up and play. So we're looking forward to Saturday at 6. So if y'all can make it, let's get over there and call them Bears up. All right, thank y'all.
Good afternoon. You know, Coach Bishop, you brought up a good story about David Walker, and I have a similar one that I wanted to share. Talking about when he was coming back towards you with the ball and some fear in your eyes and things like that. So this year at our Bear Choice Awards, that's our Student Athlete Awards banquet, David was recipient of the Athlete of the Year, and I was getting ready to present him the award, and as he comes on stage, he stops for a second, he's right in front of me, and then he looks back out at his teammates, and I mean, it's a big commotion, and David starts flexing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm about to be sack number 1 of the year. So I really thought he was about to get me, but he let me down easy, and he accepted the award, and it was all great, but very, very similar there. So I understand where you were. We're looking forward this week. Got a couple home matches, volleyball at home, kicking off A-Sun play in both soccers, and obviously a couple short road trips. So hope you can get out and join us for some games at home, and if you can make some road trips, it'd be great to see you there. Any questions that I can answer before we get out of here today?
He's giving a look update.
Okay, we'll talk about Camden. Yeah, so my son, 6 years old, he's playing fall baseball right now, and we've been watching too many YouTube videos of Aaron Judge and Juan Soto swinging the bat. So he's doing okay, but he thinks that to hit a fly ball, you got to swing up to it, and he's not understanding that those guys are nice and strong, and they're actually swinging down to it, hitting the bottom half of the ball. So we spent a little time in the cage yesterday to get some work into. Not my decision; it was his. He wanted to do it, but he is.
But I got to say something. I went and watched him play last week. You know, the game is coach pitch. Okay, so it's coach pitch. There's a busy here, so he's the leadoff batter. So he gets up there, and the coach is warming up for the other team's catcher. And Camden and them are in the first base dugout. So Camden goes around behind home plate, and he gets over here, and he is timing the pitches. Like he sees our guys do all the time. I mean, he's up there, and the coach is throwing it, and he's watching it. It was always the cutest thing.
What's that? Well, he was sitting off speed, and I told him you got to sit fastball and adjust to off speed. But no, he is definitely enjoying it. And we watched a replay of Saturday's football game. We watched women's soccer yesterday at home, and we were out last night for men's soccer, and he loves being out for the game. So anyway, yes, he's playing baseball, and we've got a long fall season ahead of us. So, but he's having fun. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. It's great to see everyone. Let's have a great week. Go Bears. Go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.